Hi guys, I'm sorry for the delay. Can you confirm the audio is okay, please? Okay, this is the second time that I record this, or I am kind of live. So I have gone through all this presentation already, and for some reason, just YouTube stopped the streaming, and I'm starting again. So I just gonna start over. So welcome to the fourth day of this course, and I appreciate that you are there and you're watching this video. It's the fourth day, and we're just gonna start. It's gonna be shorter than other times because I will go. It's the second time we are watching or just recording this video. But despite this is live, but as I said before, YouTube just stopped the stream, and now seems to be working fine. So hopefully now it's going to be okay. So we're going to talk about today. We're going to have an introduction and why Bitcoin matters more than Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin with capital letter matters more than Bitcoin with lowercase, and financial systems, and then altcoins. And then we will have some homework as well. So yesterday we saw how to buy your first Bitcoin. We checked two exchanges, and we kind of learned that the best way to get your first Bitcoin is from somebody who already uses Bitcoin and is a member of the family or as a friend, and it's a way to also be part of the community and knowing that you are backed up by somebody who already knows more than you, and you can ask questions and so on. So, but yeah, you have no choice, or if you want to keep investing or buying, but the best will be to go to an exchange. Eventually, you will have to go to an exchange. So that was yesterday. Because having come down, you see here we have two clocks today. It's a different one that the one we saw yesterday. This one is looking at the average by calculating the 10 minutes per block, and this is the current block generation time. So it's adjusting every block, and you see that that was taken like 2 hours ago. So you can see that in 1 hour and 1 day and 2 hours from now, approximately, we will be having the halving. That's important, very important event. So I want to place you to tomorrow's course, obviously, because it's the last day, but also afterwards, and trying to there's an event program for Tuesday, but I want to move it to tomorrow because it's meant to be tomorrow, the halving, and hopefully it's going to be live so we can welcome the halving together. And as well, we will see some live streamings from other YouTubers, from YouTubers, because I don't consider myself a YouTuber. And yeah, we'll see what's going on, but pretty much nothing is going to change. But it's a celebration anyway, because this is an once in a lifetime event, and very, very important. To the point that right now we were talking about who drops the price. Is the main ones that drop prices nowadays is the miners. But from tomorrow on, well, there will be the miners for a period of time, maybe because they already mined Bitcoin previously, and they may want to sell, but at one point there will not be any more miners, because the supply is going to be 900 per day. They're going to be actually exchanges, because those exchanges get fees in Bitcoin, and then that's to get fiat currency, they will have to sell the Bitcoins. So those are going to be the ones that they will drop the price in the future, mostly, apart from the whales, obviously. So why Bitcoin matters with capital letter? The first reason is because of technology. Capitalized Bitcoin is the protocol, and Bitcoin with lowercase is the currency. So when you talk about prices and how many Bitcoins you pay for this, is Bitcoin with lowercase. Everything else, like the network itself, the technology, the infrastructure, is with capital letter. There are many debates over the usefulness of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, but no one will disagree with the fact that Bitcoin is a monumental technological advance, specifically in the areas of applied cryptocurrency, applied cryptography, consensus, and monetary policy. And in the main thing that this technology does is resolve the problem of the enigma in the field of computer science called the Byzantine generals problem. So for many years in this computer science field, and they didn't find a solution to this problem. The problem is, it's called Byzantine general problem, because it's thinking about the Byzantine army. Imagine that are camped blocking a city, an enemy city, and there are different divisions, and each one of them has its own general. And those generals can communicate only with each other with a messenger. And after observing the enemy, they must decide on a common action plan. But they don't communicate in real time, because they have this messenger that goes from division to division, and they must decide of a common action plan, whether to attack or to wait. But some of the generals can be traitors as well. So you have to try, and they can try to prevent the loyal generals from reaching an agreement by lying. They can send the messenger with the wrong, let's say, information. So ultimately the question is one of the trust between unrelated parties across the network that cannot be fully trusted. This problem exists in today's economy and infrastructure. This problem has existed in everything we do online and on internet. So you see, Bitcoin is the first pragmatic solution to this computing problem that until now had not even solved. And think about it for a moment. So this is really, really important. Really, really important. It's the first time in history that we don't have to rely on a third party, because before, the only solution to this is to have a third party that controls and kind of ensures somewhat that something happens. For example, let's say you want to send money from here to another part of the world. Say you want to use, you can use a credit card, or you can use PayPal. So you are using a third party. You are using a company that you trust, and the other person needs to trust as well. But that company has a lot of power, because they can decide to send the money back to you again, because for some reason, because they believe that person bought illegal products, or I don't know, has very bad ratings, or anything like that. So because this third party is controlling the situation. Now, it's the first time in history that even if you don't trust the other person, you can transact with the other person, and it's a handshake. When you send it, it's gone, and that person receive it is received. You cannot ask for the money back. to the system. Now the person could send the money back, obviously. So with Bitcoin, we can transact with each other without necessarily having to trust the other party. Why? Because we trust the underlying technology and protocols. So this is the main thing. So we all participants of the network, for example, the miners, the buyers, sellers, trust mathematical principles instead of having trust in other participants. And this shared confidence in logic and programmatic certainty is what makes Bitcoin so innovative. And accordingly, we can send information securely and with confidence, ensuring delivery with the ability to audit after transmission with global responsibility. So it's a big deal. It's the most important part of this, the entire thing. And let's talk about financial services or systems. Sorry, this is evident in the fact that Bitcoin itself is a unit of a monetary network, but the main characteristic to remember is that it is a completely decentralized financial system itself, in which you as an individual can become your own bank. So you can transact with people anywhere in the world without friction and without fear, resistant to fraud and manipulation, and you can never be as secure with any other form of currency as with Bitcoin, because you are not, there's no intermediaries between one party and the other. So Bitcoin is like a firm handshake, while any other form of currency flow requires multiple handshakes. So, for example, through payment processors, banks, clearing houses, for money to arrive, which also increases the cost. And when you send Bitcoins, you know it will get there. Okay. And this is just the beginning, because we already starting to see local organizations, governments, and financial and technological systems transform as a result of the Bitcoin and blockchain protocol. Blockchain can solve many of the issues related to voter registration and identity verification necessary to have a fair and balanced vote of public officials. And for example, there is a startup called Follow My Vote, and they're building tools to allow this to happen. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So your imagination fly with the future impact of these innovations for you, for us, collectively, and for a better world. Sorry. So that is just to talk about again the importance of Bitcoin itself. Even if it doesn't succeed, even if it doesn't reach I don't know, $100,000 in 2 years, the seed is already on the ground, and this blockchain technology can change the world for the better. That's for sure. It's a matter of time, and price is secondary. Of course, if you are already there, you have more choices to grow economically, you know, in terms of knowledge, because you are an early adopter. So altcoins. Okay, so it is impossible to talk about Bitcoin without talking about the many other technologies it has given birth to. So this is of course it's not surprising, because Bitcoin itself was and is an open source project, and anyone at any time is fully licensed to create their own alternative currency from the original project. So all the code is available for everyone. In fact, you can literally and legally copy Bitcoin Bitcoin's core technology, not change a single line of code, and release it with whatever name you choose. And some people do it, and for again, can be a scam, can become a scam, or can be just a small cap project. This depends how you do it. The rise of these alternative currencies or altcoins is a positive consequence not only of the open source philosophy, but also of the proliferation of decentralized technologies. People will learn about it, come up with imaginative new ways to do things, improve upon existing code, fill up the gap of roles required for this promising industry. And we can, I think we can welcome this kind of Bitcoin brothers, sisters, children, distant cousins, and relatives with open arms. At the end of the day, it goes against saying that Bitcoin is the only thing. It goes against Bitcoin itself in terms of Bitcoin is open, is decentralized. So okay, let's see Bitcoin versus the rest of cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin and altcoins plus Bitcoin. So you see that the rest of altcoins, the rest of cryptocurrencies is 100 billion US dollars currently. So Bitcoin is more than half, 60 something percent, 66% of the entire market cap. So what is difference? What is the difference? What is different? Well, between Bitcoin and altcoins, that depends very much on the altcoin itself. So you see many of these altcoins share similar properties to the original Bitcoin, such as distributed and decentralized ledger, peer-to-peer transactions, mining systems, and processes to incentivize and drive adoption. So many alternative currencies and features that their own creators believe improve the original vision of the fully distributed virtual currency Bitcoin. And they can be good, bad. They can fit different needs anyway. So some of these innovation include different transaction speeds, privacy controls, different consensus requirements, and mathematical problem solving for mining. For example, there is proof of work versus proof of stake, DNS and encryption resolution, and some use Tor. There are many things. So some altcoins have become culturally relevant and extremely popular, rising among the ranks to gain a large market share and market capitalization. Most of them can be bought on the same currency exchanges that we mentioned yesterday, where you can buy Bitcoin as well. So in fact, in some cases you need to buy Bitcoin, and then after you can, with this Bitcoin, you can buy that other cryptocurrency. So you really need to have Bitcoin before being able to buy those other altcoins, most of them. Although many have challenged or tried to challenge Bitcoin dominance, it is currently hard to imagine any altcoin getting bigger than Bitcoin. However, this is not impossible. It is possible that a new innovation, new blockchain-based currency might prove to be more useful in the future, and therefore more understood and perceived valuable than Bitcoin. So it is possible, but it's hard to believe or to think today at this stage that something like this can happen. And for a while there was a mention of flipping, which it was the way to They were thinking people that Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in market cap. And for a while, people believed that. And now you don't hear this anymore. That was back in 2017. Ethereum was rising in price very quickly, and because there's more supply, people thought that Ethereum was the future, and it reached like very high price compared to even today. It was more than 1,000 US dollars, but that never happened. Okay, it may not happen. I don't think it will happen. So the most popular altcoins, as I mentioned briefly earlier, I believe this is a wrong idea. The idea of popularity in many ways runs counter to the fundamental principles of Bitcoin and decentralization, because it assumes that there must be a winner in a race to a known end. But the reality is that the most popular currency, including Bitcoin, is the one that you find specifically the most pragmatic and useful for you, for your own set of needs when you transact and trade with others in this digital space. So what is better for you may be worse for me, and so you have to understand this, obviously. And that's why I don't think being 100% Bitcoin maximalist is a good thing. I do understand them, and I would say I'm mostly myself Bitcoin maximalist, but you have to be open to to new technologies and to other options. Like, for example, even in politics or even in drinks, you don't have only Coca-Cola, you have Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola. At least you have two. And politics the same. In America, it's two main parties. So you have to have at least other options for other people and other needs. But let's say just to play the game, the most common way to determine popularity is through market cap charts, which is the market value of the shares, outstanding shares of the currency, or the issued coins or tokens. So two of the most popular websites are CoinGecko and CoinPaprika, which present volume and price information for major cryptocurrencies. And there are thousands of cryptocurrencies that are traded daily. And there are way more cryptocurrencies than the ones on those websites. There are like more than 10,000. Definitely more than 10,000 cryptocurrencies. But some of them have 7,000 only, 7,000, but they are way more than this. But they are so small that they don't even have. They are not traded in regular exchanges. So as you can imagine, this list changes frequently, and you are interested in staying up on top of the prices. Specifically, you speculate or invest. It's a good place to visit. Overall, it is my firm recommendation to commit yourself slowly and carefully, especially at first, reading as much as possible as you can about the projects and doing your best due diligence. So learn about the projects, don't just invest, and always invest when you understand something. Okay. Many of these projects are risky, very risky. So proceed with caution. You need to research the team behind the project. Go to LinkedIn, see if the name of the project team is available. Then go to LinkedIn, see what they did before this, or what companies they work for, and all this, and how the team intends to use the funds that they have, because some of them did some pre-mine, so they already have some coins, and see what they plan to do with those coins. Who else is supporting the project, and read the white paper, similar to the Bitcoin white paper, and that's the minimum you have to do. at the very least, you had to go to these places here, CoinGecko or Coin Paprika, and just open it. It's already there. Guys, if you can hear me well, please click on like button, because it's the second time that I run this and I spent 1 hour just talking on my own. So please, I will appreciate you can just click on like or just write a comment or both. So here we are by default is US dollars, okay? And you see Bitcoin number one. Why? Because obviously the biggest market cap. So they are rating by default by market cap capitalization. This is the current today, has gone down. As you can see, last night there was a drop in price. And is it going down again? Okay, I will have to check that. Oof. Ethereum as well is very bad, very bad. Okay, all red, as you can see, most of it red, most of it, especially in the last 24 hours or last hour. So you see the last hour, 24 hours, 7 days. This is the entire week. So Bitcoin went down in a week 5.7, but in 24 hours it dropped 13.2%. and 2 point something in the last hour. Not good. Anyway, you can see in US dollars price, but you can change to euros because you are in the eurozone. Maybe you may buy, say, on Kraken, where you send euros to them, and you can see, okay, let's see the prices in euros, and it's 7,700. Or say you can say also a good idea is, I mean, if you want to invest in altcoins, is mostly because sometimes you see them rising in price faster than Bitcoin at sometimes. So what you will want to find is a currency or a cryptocurrency that has benefits over Bitcoin, okay? Especially because also you buy them on Bitcoin. So what you can do is say, okay, let's go and check the price in Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin will be 000, obviously, because it's always one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin. But you see Ethereum in the last 24 hours is just nearly same thing, pretty much, in Bitcoin price. SRP went up in the last 24 hours comparing to Bitcoin. Tether, well, it's a stable coin. So obviously, if Bitcoin went down, that means that Tether went up. Cardano doing well, 2.2, 2.1. Chainlink in the last 24 hours, 4.4, and others. So you can see, for example, let's say, even you could say, okay, tell me which ones are the ones that are really going up comparing to Bitcoin. In the last 24 hours, and you see this Kusama, which never heard of, is kind of doing well comparing to Bitcoin, going up, and market cap and volume. Volume is not bad, okay, but look at Leo. Leo, the volume is only 1,700 in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin, you may say, well, okay, it's not that bad, okay, but you will see some of them that just pop the price, but then there is no really volume. So it's not a good idea to invest on those, because then we saw earlier on, for example, we see in US dollars. Yeah, okay, US dollars winners. Okay, so this, okay, let's say 7 days, maybe it's gonna be more clear. Ethereum, okay, I don't know it, it's 500,000 volume, well, not bad. but for example, this one, well, okay, it's not even winning. But you can see some of them are very, very limited volume, very, very limited. So like 91,000. So would you invest on this? Maybe not, because say you put 10,000 US dollars, and it's a lot compared to the daily volume. So you can move the price a lot. So in others, like for example, this one, 10,000 will be nothing. So definitely this one is something that you can invest, because there's a lot of volume and the market cap is high. So all these things are things to take into account. But say you want to just say, okay, now just want to see Bitcoin. Oh, what's that? Okay, it's the opposite. Let's say we want to see Ethereum. And you click on that, you see more information about Ethereum. You can see the official website. You see some explorers to see the transactions. You see main wallets and the community. So you can join Reddit, Twitter, all this. A source code, you can visit here and see the source code. And you see the maximum and the minimum in the last 24 hours. Market cap, trading, again, circulating supply. Look at that. What is this? Anybody knows? It means that there is no limit in the supply, okay? And that is a difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum has no limit. It's supplying new coins to the market constantly in every single block. Whereas Bitcoin has a cap in 21 million. No more than 21 million will be available, ever. But here, unless they change this supply, code, I mean, if they agree on the consensus and change this, they will have no cap, which is, in my opinion, it's not that good, So you cannot say this is a gold 2.0 because there is no limit in the supply. In fact, in every block there were 3 new Ethereums coming up, and now there are 2. So they have changed it, and they can change it anytime. And in fact, they want to become proof of stake. They're gonna have both proof of work and proof of stake, and they're gonna supply Ethereums in both sides of it. So they're gonna be more supply coming. So we don't know yet how much, but there will be more than 2 per block, as it is happening now. So there are many things that affect a cryptocurrency, and that's why it's something we need to be aware of and study. What project, for example, you say I want to see if XRP is a second project to invest. I want to see if it's something interesting for me, and maybe it can become, because now it's very cheap, it's 20 cents, maybe it's gonna be like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin used to be 20 cents as well years ago. So now it's a new technology, it's gonna be more, it's gonna be, I don't know, 8,000 like now, Bitcoin. Each coin is gonna be 8,000. Well, you can see the circulating supply is huge. So it's 44 billions. The max supply is gonna be 100 billions. So obviously it's not going to be, never is going to be, the price of one of the coins 8,000, something like that. Maybe €1, $1, maybe 2. It's maximum. So here we can see the entire history. Hold on, it's here. All-time high it's been 3.4 US dollars. That was in January 2018. And this is the all-time low, 0.0026 something. So it's a huge change. So now the value is, it went down 94.2% from this. Just now 20 cents, less than 20 cents of US dollar. So would you invest on this? Maybe yes, because I mean, if it was 3.4 at one point, maybe if it's now 20 cents, maybe one day it will be 1 point something. It's like 5-6 times more. Can be good. But I personally, the supply is huge, and the foundation, one thing that I didn't mention, but the rest of the coins are pre-mined already, so there's no mining on this system. They are pre-mined. So this more than half is kept by the Ripple Foundation, and they are every now and then selling them. That's why there's a pressure, selling pressure for the coin to be cheap, because every time it goes up, they sell more, and it becomes more lower price because they dump it, you know. This is Coin Paprika, is very similar, as you can see. Also 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days. There's a graph here, volume, liquidity as well, you can see. And again, this every time you click on one, you see more information. Litecoin, for example, let's check Litecoin briefly. They really have gone down in price, many of them, since yesterday. So they're telling you that it's proof of work, and so just a tag because this Lightning Network, they are working on it. And okay, there's slightly different. Well, you can see the team as well here. Charlie Lee is the creator. Charlie Lee used to work for Coinbase, and this is why it was listed in Coinbase from day one. And you can see LinkedIn, and that's good. You can see that some of the members of the team have a LinkedIn account. They have a Twitter account. You can have Medium as well for Charlie Lee. So that's good to see. And information about Reddit. So past events, you can see some conferences that they have organized. So there's a lot of information. You can see a type of algorithm. This is for mining. So they don't use the same as Bitcoin. They use script. It's proof of work. Organization structure, semi-centralized. And you can read more about this working project. Okay, so that's pretty much all for today. And we have been really quick today. Now, let me see, we are nearly 40 minutes. So I'm gonna leave you with some homework, okay? I wanna ask you to enter some information to compare some coins versus Bitcoin. You have to compare the following altcoins with Bitcoin: Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Litecoin. Okay, and about these things, the block times. And block times may take you a little bit longer. You have to maybe Google, but it's easy to find. New coins per block. How many coins are released in every single block? Maximum supply. So for example, for Ethereum, we saw it earlier. For Bitcoin, we know it's 21 million. And so for example, the best will be just to create like an Excel file like this and put the block times, maximum supply, current supply, market cap, year of creation. Yeah, I have all. And Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin. And so for example, for Ethereum, the block times will be 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Maximum supply 21 million. Current supply is about 18 point something. Say, I believe it's 0.6 or 7 million. Doesn't matter. And market cap will be 100 and we saw it earlier, 40 millions US dollars. And the year creation was in January. Well, okay, the year will be It was the 3rd of January 2009. So you can compare with Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin. Dogecoin is a fork from Bitcoin, so the code is pretty much the same, but they modify a few things. So I am not going to say what they changed because it's part of the exercise. And Litecoin as well is pretty much a copy of Ethereum, sorry, of Bitcoin, but the block times is 2 minutes. And maximum supply, I leave you there to, okay, well, it's 80 millions, or 84, I believe it's 84. So what they have done is multiply by 4 times Bitcoin. And current supply, market cap, year of creation. This is Charlie Lee, the creator, and we just saw it. And SRP, we didn't mention SRP. We just, if you want to check others, go and see. For me, these three, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Litecoin, because Dogecoin is also very old, Litecoin as well. So there are no new coins. And Dogecoin actually is very interesting because there's no maximum supply. As with Ethereum, we saw this, so this is nothing. We don't know, there's no maximum supply. But the current supply, Dogecoin started with a meme, it was a joke, but it's still there and it's used. So there's a lot of traffic and it's kind of it's interesting thing. It's a use case scenario. It's just to check. Really something to study. And these three, please, that's your homework for tomorrow. And I will populate this as well. I will do my research and put it there. And tomorrow you see if the information you have is the same as me. And tomorrow is the halving, and we saw this, like, is the halving. The countdown is actually less than one day. Wow, amazing. So you see the time has changed. It was 8 point something and now it's 7.95. And because it's depending on the blocks that are created when, so it's calculating the last one and then doing like a percentage of a calculation out of it. So we don't know yet when it's going to be, but in less than 24 hours, we are going to have the halving. I trust this more than this because this is supposed to be, well, okay, it's calculating 10 minutes, but it was supposed to be the 12th, okay, but now it's always the 11th here, but at different times. Okay, well, let's see what happened. Hopefully tomorrow, when the last episode of this course, the last session happens, is yet going to happen. So hopefully it's not going to be in the middle of the halving, and afterwards, just after, I will open another session just to maybe using Zoom instead, or maybe YouTube, we'll see. But we are just want to follow the halving and kind of celebrate, because this happens every 4 years and every time is different, and it changes the entire policy of issuing new currency to the market, and it's a big thing. Hopefully with this new halving is more scarcity in Bitcoin, so the relationship with gold, it increases, because basically the supply is going to be lower than gold. Let's say what they said inflation, but there's no inflation, but what they call inflation of Bitcoin is lower than gold. It's becoming lower than gold after the halving, so it's more scarce than gold. So guys, thank you for watching, and if you have any friend that wants to know about Bitcoin, please place them to our courses. The link is still there, so the videos are going to be there available, and so they can watch the entire course. And bless you for tomorrow, and let's see what happened with the halving, and that's it. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.